Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Mark, and today I'm here to introduce you to one of our newest designs, this treasure chest. I love this one. It is so cool. Let me give you a couple of highlights about it, and then we'll jump into the file, and then we'll also show you a real-time assembly video as well to show you how to put it all together. First of all, it comes in two different sizes. We're just going to call it the large and the small. And I'll show you the large one. The small one's exactly the same other than being, well, smaller. So this one here is tall enough to fit 3x5 index cards in here. And it will also fit cards like magic cards here from left to right. So you could store all kinds of fun things in here. It also comes with optional dividers and containers that you can put in there as well. For example, you can put these dividers in here like this, and you can divide your cards or whatever you're putting in there. It has slots in the bottom for up to 3 of these different dividers here that you can put in. So that's very flexible, and you could use it for a lot of different things. Also, it comes with one tall insert like this, so that it make it easier to get things out just like that. Or they also come with a stackable set of 2 trays like this. Maybe you could put coins in there or whatever you want, just like this. And then you can close the lid. Or, of course, you can use it open without any of those inserts at all. And then the small one is basically this exact same thing, just like this. You can also put, again, short dividers in there, like so. Or, again, we've got the smaller trays that you can put in there to make it easier to get things in and out. This is made completely out of things that you cut on your laser, including the hinge in the back, which is really cool. And the small one can be cut out of 1 sheet of material, and the large one takes just a little bit over 1 sheet. So it doesn't cost a lot to make at all, and they are gorgeous. You can paint them whatever color you like. It does take a little bit of time. There are several smaller pieces, so this is probably not a beginner's project, probably an intermediate just in terms of the assembly. But let's jump into the file and I'll show you how to make it because I think you'll really enjoy it. All right, so let's go over the file for the tall treasure chest. The short one is exactly the same, except it's just shorter. So this is the way that the file looks when you open it at first, the file for the tall chest. But I have taken all the pieces and I've organized them in a little bit of an easier way to see them so that you can see how they all go together. The way that we organize them in the other file is just to make maximum use of the space on your material. But in this case, this will help you a little bit. Hopefully, if you haven't already, please pause this video and go watch the assembly video because you'll see my friend Tyler assembling all the pieces and you can see them getting glued together. Then when you come and look at this, this will make a lot more sense, all right? So over here on the left side, I've got the bottom piece of the chest, and on the right side here, I've got the lid and the hinges, and then here I've got the divider here. We'll talk about all these. Let me just touch on the divider here real quick. This is simply just what it looks like. The short chest has exactly the same divider, except for this piece right here is shorter, just like you can imagine. You can cut this base piece and then as many of the dividers as you wish. Make sure that you edit the slot for your material if needed. You'll see right here that the slot is 0.125 in height. So that should accommodate pretty much any material that's around 1/8 inch thick. I don't personally care if they fit really tight on these. I'm just going to glue them in anyway, or I can just set them in there and let them be loose. For the most part, you probably shouldn't have to adjust that unless you want it really tight. That is up to you. But the slot size is 0.125. Also, before we go into the rest of this, you'll also see that there are several slots throughout the chest here as well. And you'll see that these slots are all 0.118. They're all 0.118. That's what fits perfectly for our MDF. But you need to check yours and see what yours needs. If it needs something bigger than that, you'll want to adjust all of these slots. And they are all horizontal here left to right. So all you got to do is simply select them and type in a different height if you want that different for your material. One more time, this is really made for 1/8 inch. This is not made for 1/4. So if you want to use 1/4 inch, you're going to have to adjust pretty much the entire thing. So only use 1/8 inch on this, this design here. All right, so let's go over here. On the left side, this is the bottom. This is going to be right here, the very bottom of the box. You got your left and your right and your top and bottom here. These pieces here go just like you can imagine. They stand up right against each other. Make sure that the grain is facing out, not in like it appears here. But these 4 will form the box itself. Then, just like you saw in the other video, this piece here and this one here will fit around the ends. And then this piece here and this one here will then be glued on top of that. This is the front of the box here. You'll glue that on top of this one right here. And then this piece right here goes right here on top of this one. You'll glue that on there. And then you've got the trim pieces. This piece will get glued between these slots here. And then these two pieces will get glued right here. And of course, right here on this one. Again, it makes a whole lot of sense when you watch the other video as well. And then these other trim pieces here, right here, go to the lid. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. These pieces inside here are the hinges. I put them here because these, I'll zoom in here, these 4 that have the square hole in them go into these 4 slots right here, and they're going to point up. It's a little difficult for me to show that angle here because I can't really do that when it's flat, but these 4 with the squares go into here, and then if I go over here, you'll see these 2 with these circles go into the lid piece, and they're going to point down. Again, you'll see that in the other video. Be a lot easier to see, right? This is your lid piece. This one piece right here that again was in the other video has the slot right in the middle, and it's a little wider than all the rest. And that's the one you start with. And this one goes right here like that. And this piece, of course, goes right here like that. And then you build around that as you go down. Each one of these pieces goes into each one of these slots right here. And you'll build the curved part of the lid there. Then when you get to that all done, then this piece, of course, goes on the end. Go just like that. Same with the bottom one. Then this trim piece will go over top of it. Same with the one down here. And then this piece goes on top of that, right like this. Same as the one on the bottom. It all makes a whole lot of sense as you're building it, especially when you watch the other video. All right, then your round hinge pieces go right into there. And then these are trim pieces, and you'll see where those go on the video as well. Then, this is really important. This is the piece that threads through all of the hinge pieces right here. And this is made for 1/8 inch material. If you look at this piece, it is also 0.118. If your material is thinner than that, you'll be okay. But if it's thicker, you're going to have to adjust this 1/18 dimension to match your material to make it bigger so it can fit through there. And the purpose here is so that this rod will go through these square holes in the hinge, and it will not be able to rotate, but it will be able to rotate in the circle hinges. So that allows the lid to rotate up and down without the rod moving on the bottom. So that's really important. For ours, we did not use any glue because we didn't need to. You can if you wish or if you need to, but we did not have to for ours on any of the ones we made. So that's how all those pieces go together. And then again, here's the dividers here if you want. And there's also the boxes that stack as well. Those are pretty straightforward. So make sure if you haven't already, watch that other video, and this will help you put this all together. Of course, the black lines are cut. Red lines are scored. Do not cut the red lines. You'll be sad. This is not a beginner's design. This is probably an intermediate. So again, make sure you assess your skill set appropriately and watch all of these videos to help you put it together. Let me know if you have any questions. Man, I'd love to see what you guys make with this. I'll see you in the next one.